Okay, turn number 16. My path to Ascension begins here. Let's see how we're doing. We got some enchantment. Somebody claimed the Throne of Summer. It's the guy who's on the other side of our planet, Vanheim. That's probably the one in his cap ring, which means we need to start taking as much of the north as we can. It could be a different one too, we'll see. We made 2 more packs of wolves, searched for some magic sites, didn't find any. 1 battle. That went pretty well. Yeah. Unexpected events. Werewolves? It is whispered that an old curse has awoken, calling those affected into the wilderness at full moon. Unrest +5. Let's check where that is in a second. Feral Woods. Lately, dogs have gone rabid and fled. A pack has now reappeared, mixed with more sinister creatures. Alright, well that is foreshadowing for this. It's very cold around the Throne of Winter again still, which is annoying. Worldwide event. Throne of Summer is spreading warmth across the world. That should be interesting to see how those interacted. And a battle here. Alright, so we got attacked by some dogs in a province where we have a whole bunch of stuff. Some of that stuff is vulnerable old men standing out in front. Hopefully they don't get eaten by dogs. Alright, let's see how it goes. It went fine, thank goodness. And, alright, we have here our first example in this game of a wizard other than our prophet casting spells in battle. So, here is Sect Elder Flame Harvest. Here he is at the beginning of the battle. Fatigue 0, Encumbrance 0. Let's see. Sect Elder Flame Harvest prepares to cast Enlarge. Oh man. The AI is bad at picking spells. Anyway, he cast Enlarge. Did he cast it on himself? Yes, okay. So the first thing Sect Elder Flame Harvest does here is that he... Oh wait, maybe he did cast it on someone else. Who did he cast it on? Yeah, he's not size 3. He cast Enlarge, though. Oh no, this is gonna be such... Alright, can I figure it out through context somehow? Oh no, I want to know who he made bigger. He made somebody bigger. Who did he make bigger? Is anybody noticeably bigger here than they should be? I don't see anybody. Did he cast Enlarge and miss? Is that a thing that can happen? It might be a thing that can happen. Let's see. So he's casting it again. Nice. Alright, he's cast it twice now. Neither time... Wait, hang on. Enhance. Yes. Incredible. Alright, so he's decided that he's going to use, of all the magics he knows, he's going to use the Enlarge spell to make these nearby archers bigger. Did he hit anybody else with it? They're kind of noticeably bigger. Maybe like these guys are big too? No. Okay. Alright, so by making them bigger, he has given them an extra 4 hit points and made their bow attack do 12 instead of 11. Very powerful. Those archers are definitely going to be more use. We should probably have scripted this guy to retreat. I'm kind of glad we didn't, because it means he's still in the province we wanted him to be in this turn. Although I guess it wouldn't have mattered because he was done searching. Anyway, we had enough province defense to defeat these wolves. And, oh right, I was analyzing it. Well, okay. Last thing. These guys. Black dogs. So these are like magic, fae dogs linked slightly to the Kushi that Fomoria can summon with spells. Those are sacred though, and these aren't. But the thing that I was going to talk about. Every spell in this game is either a ritual spell or a battle spell. If it's a ritual spell, you can only cast it out of combat, and it takes a whole turn, which is a month, to cast. If it's a combat spell, it takes a certain amount of time in combat to cast. And it gives you fatigue. So as soon as he casts Enlarge once, he goes from 0 fatigue to 22 fatigue. Now, some of that is because he's old and somewhat encumbered. So 4 of that is from there. The other 18 is the fatigue cost to cast the spell that he's casting divided by his nature mage level, if he has an extra nature mage level over it, which I think he does, minus our magic scale. So I think 18 was the result there. Probably all of our magic scale hasn't spread here just yet, and I would say it's probably a 30 fatigue spell that he cast, and then he got that. No, that doesn't quite work. Maybe it is a 40 fatigue spell that he cast, and he got 18 fatigue with 2 magic. Yeah, that would work out. Anyway, I can look it up in a minute and see how off I am. But the point is, as wizards cast spells, they get more tired. Everyone else gets more tired as they do things too, while these archers don't. Shooting arrows doesn't tire you out in this game, unlike in real life. But if we look at these guys fighting, well, he's at fatigue 0 because he hasn't done much, but here's one at fatigue 4. They will get tired as they fight. Fatigue lowers your attack and defense skill eventually, as does being injured in various ways, as does routing. But it also increases your chance of being critically hit. So when a tired thing gets hit with a weapon, it's more likely that there'll be a crit, and that'll lead to afflictions and or instant death. So getting tired and being in melee combat are a very bad combination. Luckily, our wizards stand well back from the line, so usually what wizards will do is cast spells until they hit 100 fatigue, and then they'll pass out for a few rounds, and then they'll wake up again and cast another spell. If they cast spells that are too powerful for them, they can go over 200 fatigue, at which point every 20 points or so of extra fatigue is 1 hit point of damage, and your wizards can actually hurt or kill themselves by casting too powerful spells, especially if they're small, frail old men. A problem we will definitely have in late game is thinking about how much damage our guys are going to take from casting big, impressive spells. Anyway, I don't think we lost anything there. Yeah, we didn't lose anything real. Some of our province defense ran out and got killed, but that's the point of province defense, and it'll all be back again next turn, because that money goes into maintaining a garrison there that can never be moved, and the disadvantage of it never being moved pays for the advantage of it replenishing each month. So, that wasn't so bad. Alright. I did... Oh, that's interesting. Shinyama is massing on our border. Most of these guys are pretty bad. There's a sorcerer with them. By bad, I in this case mean not good at fighting. I did manage to talk to Vanheim. Vanheim wants peace with us, at least temporarily, and is worried about Nuclear Monkey. So, I am not worried about Nuclear Monkey, despite all the evidence that tells me I should be, and I am going to continue to be friends with him. What we're going to do with that is that we are going to spend a few turns attacking Shinyama, and then we're going to try to set up some kind of backstab on Vanheim. I would like to take both of these islands on the same turn somehow. I don't know that I can. It'll be a while before we have anything that can fly besides our god, or anything that can teleport into various places. But we're going to move a scout in here to check how much province defense he's put on these islands. Because if we could take both of these in the same turn and have enough money floating to throw a bunch of province defense on here, then we would be able to set up a good trap that he would probably want to keep sailing units into for a while. That's a thought, anyway. Alright, let's see. Still have like 18 footmen, lost 4, we're doing fine. Let's try to get up into this choke point as quick as we can. This map has a lot of choke points compared to the maps we usually play on. Often we would have 4 or even 5 neighbors by this point in the game instead of only 2. Well, I guess we have 3 because of Shinyama. They still almost count. And so there's going to be a lot of fighting over narrow pathways like this one up here. And I'd like to get up there as soon as I can, just so I'm not having to push someone out of this province, then out of this province, then out of this province, then fight around this little round circle up here so that I can eventually try to take this choke point so I can try to push onto the moon. The less of that I have to do on the way to getting onto this moon is the better. So, we're going to go this way, I think. Let's see. Heavy infantries and militias. Either of these provinces can go that way. 40 enemy, militias, light infantries, heavy infantries, militias. We will do this, because this should be an easier fight, and we want to be able to keep walking as long as we can without slowing down. And we were thinking about maybe building a fort up here. We can't afford to do that this turn, especially if we do a thing I want to do down here. So we're gonna push forward. Okay, army movements, let's see. How many guys do we have built up here? Quite a few. Well, a lot of these are wolves, but oh, I guess we brought up some more guys, so actually quite a few. Nice, we have enough leaders for all of them, that's cool. Okay, so we still can't cross this river again now because of the heat from the Throne of Summer. Well, that's less than ideal. I guess these guys can walk all the way around here to get to Shinyama and attack it, but that's going to be a huge pain in the ass. Can you get over here? You can, but not this turn. And it'll be too late probably by next turn. Alright, and that's a river too. Alright, so many choke points on this map. Alright, we're going this way. We're gonna come up this way and come around. This will probably be the last one of these we make for a while. We're running out of air gems, and we want to let air gems build up for later when we will use them to make boots that will let our guys fly around, which will be very useful in moving wizards quickly from one place to another. This guy will once again cast wolves. We're up to 20 wolves here and 10 wolves down here. It's kind of rough that that's going to take an extra 3 turns to get these guys remotely into position. Well, let's keep doing our best. Already searched this province. You can move out here to search. Let's set you properly to retreat now. Make sure we have defense everywhere. This is the overview that's opened with the F1 key. It's nice because it shows you all of your provinces on one screen, and you can see useful information about various people. Our god is going to search here for magic sites. I want this guy to build a lab. We do not have enough money for that. I think when I was estimating income last turn, I forgot we had gotten a gold event that turn. So okay. We don't recruit extra commanders this turn. We can still send this fast-moving horse commander down from our capital to have a guy here, or we could have a guy here. Yeah, we'll be okay on commanders for next turn without recruiting any more commanders. That gets us to 427. And we can skimp a little bit on troops to get where we want to get. Okay. It's kind of tempting to try to attack into this throne, just so we could get over this way faster, but it's a bad idea. We don't quite have enough stuff or enough wizards to safely take a throne that has this much stuff on it. We would lose armies, and it's better to spend 3 turns moving an army around than it is to spend 3 turns rebuilding an army. Okay. You're going to start moving these troops up. We are going to bring these wolves, even though we don't technically need them yet. Nice. So we just have to hope these guys can hold this flank by themselves for a little while these guys move around. We might as well bring these wolves too. We don't have enough leadership to bring those wolves too. Let's put this guy here and that guy there. And that way this guy can grab a bunch of wolves and also a recruitment from here. And maybe catch up because he's faster? Probably not. Yeah, no. Okay, still working on enchantment. Our research is getting faster. Did we remember to equip somebody? No. Okay, cool. This road is nice. Eventually being able to send units up and down this road may matter a lot. Let's see. That's the green connection here. Red connection is it needs mountain survival to cross. Blue connection is a river. Green connection is a road. Alright. Starting to get some infrastructure building. Still want a lot more, but we're working with what we have. Got to keep pushing up this way if we can. I wonder how choke pointy it's going to get up here, and how tough the independents are going to be. We might have to loop back around with these guys depending on how bad this looks, because there's no way around that province if it's like a heavy cav province or something like that. But that said, I think this is about the turn. We are making wolves, we are forging quills, and we're researching away towards a second life for our god in case things go wrong. And then after that, we're probably going to start driving evocation until eventually we learn gifts from heaven and stop dropping meteors from space on people. So look forward to that. Hopefully we'll be able to take Shinyama relatively quickly and then move on to fighting Vanheim. This has been My Path to Ascension Begins Here. I'm your host, Zach. Wow, never saying that again, probably. And hope you enjoyed it. See you all next time. A little bit of bonus footage for this turn. How wrong or right was I about Enlarge? Enlarge is actually a Nature 2 spell that costs 20. I was guessing it was a Nature 1 spell that cost 40, I believe. If we go into this battle, see this old man cast the spell one more time. The spellcasting AI is pretty random. There are some things it likes doing. Often it likes buffing itself. Here it's preferring buffing nearby troops. If it has a summon it can spam, it will often spam those. But usually it first tries to protect itself or help someone near it, and then starts firing off offensive spells. We don't have any good way for it to really protect itself, I guess. And we don't have much in the way of offense yet either. So I think it decided just to make these archers larger. But he's cast... Has he cast it twice already? He's cast it... He's preparing to cast it a third time. Alright, so we didn't catch him on the turn I want. But it should be that it is 20 fatigue minus whatever the magic scale of this province is, which is 1. So that's 19 fatigue. Plus, there's no temperature scales here right now. Hot and cold make you get tired faster. So there, right after the first one, he goes to 22 fatigue. So that is 20 for the spell, minus 1 for the magic, plus 4 for our encumbrance. And then he gets 1 back because every unit in Dominions 5 recovers 1 fatigue each round. That's new. In Dominions 4, to recover fatigue at all, you had to be unconscious. But in Dominions 5, which gives you back 5 per round for being unconscious. But in Dominions 5, they decided that you should get 1 back every round. So that's how we get to this 22. Which means he can probably cast Enlarge safely 5 times. And then he'll fall asleep for a round, and then he can cast it again, and he'll fall asleep for about 4 rounds before he can cast it again. Anyway, just wanted to double check how good a job I did of guessing that. Nothing else to report this turn. When I say that we're going to spend a few turns crushing Shinyama and then invade Vanheim, it's because I want to invade Vanheim now, but we don't have any good route for it, and taking Shinyama will make us substantially more powerful. Those are our current strategic goals. I think we've talked enough about tactics this turn. I didn't re-script these armies before sending them this direction, but their tactics are pretty compatible, I think. Should work out just fine. Alright, I did change one thing. One more small addition to the turn. I've been thinking, and instead of going all the way around to get to Shiniyama, we may end up wanting to go through this throne. I don't remember exactly how tough it was. I could go back and check my video from that chapter, but what we're going to do instead is I took this guy's magical quill pen away, and we're going to have this one lone wizard charge into this throne to see what's there. Just like we did before, he'll be in the back and he'll be set to retreat, and hopefully he'll retreat right back to here, and if he doesn't, wherever he ends up, he'll hopefully be useful still. But that'll give us an idea of what's up here. It may actually have changed if the troops here have started to starve, or if any events have happened to them. They may have wasted some gems. So we'll see. We'll have a lot of archers adjacent to this province next turn, so it might be worth one turn to go in here and then come back out and go over here. Just as an example, if our troops have to go all the way around this river, they will be moving one from here, or even two from down here. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 moves to Shiniyama, and if we take it, it will just be 1, 2, 3, 4. So saving 2 turns long term. Also, it's a throne. We want those. We'll see. It's going to depend partially on whether or not Shiniyama attacks us. But yeah, that's the idea. Send this guy in here real quick. See what's there. Get him back out. I would use a commander that was less important than a wizard if I had one spare. If he ends up in one of these provinces, we'll get a free site search before he comes back. If he retreats into enemy territory and dies, well, that's too bad. It shouldn't happen, but it could. And that is the last addition to this turn, which should go any second.